morning. I'm live. This is Dr. Lueth. It is 6:01 a.m. on June 30th, 2025. I'm still messing with the lights. I check for certain things. So, uh, I I've been online for a really long time, and what people aren't really understanding, especially in the United States, here's the thing: there are ways to be held accountable for your online content. Okay, you, it isn't, once certain uh, parties get involved, it isn't uh, always going to be the case that in America we just have to put up with whatever online. That's just not true. And things that people email to each other are used in court cases often nowadays, especially lower courts. And some of that, sure, yes. People have been criminally indicted for internet activity in the United States. So I, I really am trying to say that, hey, in the United States, no, it's not sometimes freedom of speech. Sometimes it's hate speech. Sometimes it's, and also remember, there are civil ways. So uh, the last thing I'm going to say about Michaela Raines is her husband and that organization can attempt to write. They can get federal law enforcement involved for some things, but they can also sue civilly for slandering his wife. You understand? You understand? That there are consequences. That's just not true. See, y'all are like, there's nothing. Yes, there is. Okay, people have actually gone to jail because of their internet activity in the United States. You guys have to wise up a little. And I am saying that if it builds to a certain extent within the United States and it's got certain keywords and other things going on, then people can be very um, found and face the consequences for terrorism, domestic terrorism, or if they're from another country, you understand? Right? So if all that was slanderous that was on the subreddit, okay, well, you get enough people who understand that you can sue civilly based on what people put online, okay? But there may be a way to criminally convict some people. And I don't know what you guys have been paying attention to, but you should know, yes, plenty of courts these days use emails, use, will stuff that they put on Reddit, on X, on YouTube, goes investigated, gets investigated, right? And in some cases, they find criminal acts online. Yes, unfortunately, there's some people who use the internet in a very harmful and inappropriate manner. Okay. Well, I've taken my fair share of hits. I'm sensitive to certain things that most people wouldn't know about. I don't really walk around talking about them, but, there was a certain point in time where it's like I had COVID or whatever anybody wants to call it. I don't care what you call it. I was really sick. Okay. You can't discount all these people. We're not making up the fact that we're sick. Okay. I'm tired of that shit. Okay. There are a lot of people who don't know much online these days. But in the United States, yes, you can be brought to justice. Okay. If it's not possible to find enough evidence for proof of a court of law in the United States, for beyond a shadow of doubt evidence, it's still possible to sue them, yes, civilly. See, the thing of it is in the United States is here. No, 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 it isn't freedom of speech. We don't have to, because in some cases it impinges upon people's rights. If you are impinging upon someone else's civil rights, that is not okay in the United States, and you cannot use freedom of speech or freedom of press for that in a court of law. You will lose. You will see what a fucking prison in the United States looks like. And some of it might be harmful enough to extradite somebody. Okay, that's what I'm saying. You need to study other laws. Some of you are completely ignorant of this. Okay, and I've been watching and watching, listening. Like, I'm not going to call these people names. I'm not even going to give them time of day. Okay, so some of you want to call them names. Well, I got to be honest with you. I've met people, and they don't understand that what they're being a part of is hurtful to someone, and sometimes they don't have any way to gauge whether something is true or false. Okay, some people get online and they seem like they're with these people because they believe what they were told. Okay, so they just jump in thinking that they're doing something good. I bet you some of these people think they're doing something good. Okay, some of them are not aware that not only are they believing in something that's false, but in the United States, I don't know how many times I have to say this, but it is something I'm going to keep saying. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Okay, I don't know what else to tell anybody. Somebody's been putting it out loud in public online, and there are others who really should start doing this. Right, some of my brothers. Right, yes, you can be held accountable for things you put on. Okay, yeah, yes. If a certain amount of effort is put in, you can be found. Your physical location on Earth can be found. Yes, yes, it can. Okay, so go ahead. Okay, but don't start calling other people names, and understand that in the United States, if your online activity is impinging upon the civil rights of another U.S. citizen, you had better believe you can be held accountable in a court of law. There are plenty of courts in the United States, especially those courts who have used emails as evidence. Some of them civilly get used, some of them criminally get used, some of them both. And if it's bad enough and it's coming from a different country, then yeah, it could be considered terrorism. See, you're all not thinking right about this. Now, I'm sure there are some who are happy about that because you get sloppy and you get stupid and you get caught. Okay, so some of you are running around thinking that you can't be held accountable for anything you put online. That's a pile of horse shit. That is the biggest lie on the internet. So I am also going to be going after some civil. My civil rights have been impinged upon yet one too many times. I can use a lot of what's on the internet to prove that my civil rights have been impinged upon and that I've been bullied and harassed. And I don't get online to I don't I don't go watch an ice hockey game and start trouble. I think anyone who knows me having to do with that would agree. I don't ever go to an ice hockey game, no matter where it is, to start trouble. I'm never there for that. I'm always just there for the ice hockey. I'm not there to have conversation. I'm always just there to have, right? You understand? So some of us have been online long enough that we can pretty much say, well, we're elders. And it is absolutely the truth that you can be civilly sued for things you put online that, yep, impinge upon the rights and freedoms of another U.S. citizen. Some of it, yes, is criminal and can be used in criminal courts. So some of you saying there's not, that is such bullshit. That is a lie. Don't believe the fucking lie. Okay? I know for a fact people have been found, okay, doing certain types of, yes, internet activity right out there in the public. And I know for a fact one of them's in jail. And all the evidence, all of it, every single piece of it, came from internet activity behind bars. That person is. You can also sue civilly. Wrongful death. I mean, there's so much shit in the United States. You're all mistaken. And I'm sure that there are some people who really appreciate that because it's easier to catch you. But there are courts in the United States of America for many years now who have used contents of emails, contents of, yep, yep, contents of certain things online, comments, DMs, personal stuff you think can't be, right? Yes, it can. Okay. So no, I don't call people, trash humans or schizos because I am around people with schizophrenia and I know people with schizophrenia, and that's not fair to dump that on the schizos, though. Okay, you're doing the same thing. Be cycle breakers. Don't do the same thing. Don't call them names. Don't tell people that they can't be held accountable because it's the internet, because that is a lie. Okay? People do need to understand that after 9/11, certain things in this country changed. Laws, rules, yes, and how the internet plays according to, uh, yep, certain security agencies, all kinds of other things. Trust me when I tell you that people in this country who are definitely interested in keeping this country secure, no, they didn't forget about the internet. You understand? Like, okay, the government's not that stupid. And some of you are like, blame everything on the government, blame everything on Satan, blame everything on your mother. Hey, shut up. I'm sure you played a part in it, whoever you are. Okay? Is what I'm saying. There is no way. After 9/11, I can assure you, okay, certain activity on the internet, all right, if it gets found, it can be stopped. Don't think that in the interests of national security, there aren't people who understand exactly how the internet works, who understand exactly how to, right, find your general location. If they can't find your, yeah, trust me, like, you are thinking you got this blanket of anonymity on you, and you don't. You don't. And so, in the interest of USA national security, I'm going to tell you point blank, yeah, There are ways to hold people accountable for their internet activity. At 100%, that is truth. Okay? That's truth. There's tons of facts and information out there. Yep. But some things about national security changed after 9/11. Okay, there were some laws that changed after 9/11. Yep. Homeland Security was put together after 9/11. It's a new department, growing pains. I get that. But it's just true. So some of you may not like it, but your internet activity is not safe from proper law enforcement in this country and sometimes outside this country. There are other countries, I'm sure, other countries who are, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Britain probably has some people right on their internet. Yeah, Canada probably does. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, they monitor internet activity. Yes, for national security purposes. See, you're all thinking like it, it's just not true. You can be held accountable based on your internet activity. So a lot of people are online not speaking the truth. And anybody wants to give me a hard time, I'm like, bring it on. Okay? But no, you've already lost. I will use it all against you in actual real courts of law. And I will sue civilly. Now, there's some things I can already sue civilly about, which I'm getting ready to do. I'm making a documentary. You all do not understand the reach in the United States, especially, yes, use of the internet after 9/11. Things changed. The way national security is looked at, the way things are handled in the United States government are different because, yes, 9/11 then came Homeland, just right, Homeland Security. And then, right, there are some presidential and a few other things having to do with large government and, the government that runs out of Washington, D.C. changed after 9/11. So there may be organizations, and I'm not sure which one, and I don't care, to be honest. But I know for a fact there are ways to hold people accountable, and you can sue civilly in the United States. And no, you can't just put up any old bullshit in the United States like we have to tolerate it. Yes, some of that impinges on someone else's civil rights, and that means freedom of speech will not help you in a court of law. Freedom of press will not help you in a court of law. You can sue for libel. You can sue for slander. Okay. But in the process of gathering information that way, yes, some criminal charges may pop up. The internet is fair game to be looked at and handled by, yes, entities that are interested in the national security of the United States of America. Right? I mean, I took a lot of courses. Okay, so I know these things. But I'm telling you, okay, the United States military is the one who created the internet. The way, right? There's all kinds of stuff that goes on the internet that's on VPNs that you guys don't know about, can't reach. Okay? But that is what I'm saying, is that after 9/11, shit changed, people. I don't care if you like it or not. Shit changed. You can be held responsible. You can be held responsible for domestic terrorism based on your internet activity alone. You can be held for terrorism if you're outside this country based on your internet activity alone. You're all thinking not like you apparently do not know the laws in the United States. You apparently do not understand that you may not use any of the amendment rights to justify you stepping on other people's civil rights. No, you can't. So, fuck it. Okay? I mean, I've already had to go through so much in life, and it's just like, you know what? At least half the people who get online these days shouldn't really be online. Some of them should have somebody helping them understand what they're looking at, right? Including children and elders. Okay? We shouldn't require them to have to use the fucking internet. Okay? They're 80-year-olds. Don't run over the seniors in this country with the paper. You know what I'm trying to say? They should all, right? Okay? Little children do not run this world. Right? The millennials don't run this world. Some of us know better. I know better than a lot of in the interest of national security alone. Your internet activity can be tracked and used against you in a court of law. Straight truth. People want truth. I give them truth, and nobody wants the truth. Nobody comes here. They don't want to see all the other bullshit online. And I'm trying to tell you that it is absolutely possible, based on your activity online, to go to fucking jail in the United States of America. You can be sued civilly until you have nothing. That's one thing Michaela Reigns' husband and the Save a Fox Farm can sue those people for libel and slander in actual real courts of law, right? And there's a bunch of people who think they're above the law, and there's quite a few of us disagree. I give the truth. It's been on the internet. I have facts. It is known. And some of it could end up being a federal crime because you could be seen as an internet terrorist, either domestic or otherwise. There are plenty of court cases these days that are settled with looking at somebody's emails or looking at somebody's, what somebody's written about. Plenty of them, both civil and criminal. You are wrong to think that your First Amendment right gives you the right to just do whatever and say whatever. That's false, because you may not step on someone else's rights, civil particularly, and use the First Amendment as your excuse. You will lose. You will lose in a court of law. It will not help you. It won't. It just won't. Because that's not how the United States fucking works, man.